Welcome, everyone. Can you hear me okay in the back? I'm coming through. All right. So, welcome to the final day. Can we start off by giving a giant round of applause to the students for all the awesome work that they did? And to all their mentors who are the reason why they did it. So welcome to the graduation ceremony. We have a very special guest who's going to talk to you for a couple of minutes. So for the students, you may remember at the very beginning of the program, we had someone from the associate director, then associate director, Dr. Baskin, who spoke to you and welcomed you to the Cancer Center. And now to end it, we have the director himself, the one who runs the entire Cancer Center, and in addition is a renowned physician scientist, so Dr. Bob Ferris.
Thank you, David. Well, guys, it's a tremendous pleasure. I was away for the kickoff of this tremendous academy, so I was unable to come earlier in the summer, but I very much enjoy being able to see everybody, listening to some of the presentations this morning. So I come to thank you for a tremendous summer. Thank all of the mentors for the hard work. I always make sure my lab takes a student because we just love this 15th year of the Hillman Academy, and having students come through the lab is really rejuvenating. I'm always amazed listening some of the words you guys, I couldn't even pronounce those words, you know, the scientific drugs and pathways. It's tremendously impressive what you've done. And then it's a great credit to the parents and grandparents and everyone who's been bringing you up and helping prioritize education, innovation, research. My own son did this last year, so it's really special to see how everybody has come through this summer, gotten to know each other, filling up this tremendous auditorium. Thanks to the whole crowd running this. You know, David and his team do a wonderful job. They were able to compete nationally to get funding to support this program. And it's supplemented by the Hillman Foundation that helps us to bring in folks who often aren't as exposed to areas of science, medicine. And I think if you haven't heard the statistic, the matriculation onto advanced education, college, and then graduate school and medical school is somewhere north of 99+% going on to additional educational opportunities. And then the last thing I'll tell you is that in about 2 or 3 weeks, we will welcome our first class of a new PhD program in oncology. And Pitt has enabled us to start an oncology graduate program. And just want you guys to keep it in mind. Don't forget us when you go on to great things. We'd love to be part of your the rest of your education if you decide cancer research and translational science is in your future. We'd love to have you back. Make sure you stay in Pittsburgh and Western PA. That's one of the other undercurrents of the Hillman Academy, is for you to be exposed to all of the tremendous scientists we have here and hopefully launch your careers and the rest of your family and lives here at Hillman, elsewhere across the University of Pittsburgh and UPMC. So thanks to all of you. It's been great having you. I'll turn it back over to David.
Thank you, Bob. Really appreciate it. And you pretty much just did the next 15 minutes of my talk where I'm thanking the million people anyways, that I'll go into greater depth, but thank you for that. And thanks again to all of you, to the students. Again, congratulations. One more, just another giant round of applause for this group of students here. You know, and it's such an honor and pleasure, and we'll put this up on the website so you can have it too. This was taken on the first day, and it's just an honor and pleasure to be around such amazing young minds who are the future of medicine and research here at, you know, through cancer research throughout the country. And this, again, was taken on the first day. You know, and I promised you, like, it probably felt awkward. You didn't know if you'd fit in. You didn't know you belong. I hope that all of you feel like you do now. And you felt like you absolutely knew nothing. And I promised that in 7 weeks, you would know more about whatever you were going to talk about than almost anyone in the world. And I hope through this experience, where you worked with mentors, you learned a pipette, you are in the cell culture rooms, or you're typing on a keyboard, writing code, where you're getting to know one another uh, and having fun together, taking 45 minutes to undo a human knot, or eating lunches and breakfasts and dinners together, and sitting through lots and lots of seminars, winning giant stuffed animals together, uh, that you've grown to like one another, that you've learned a lot, and all the way to today, whenever you presented your work and you became, and again, these are all Cosby because this is mine and I'm the only one who took these pictures, and I'll get the rest of them later. Cosby only represented here. For the presentations that you gave, again, congratulations. It's been so much fun to be on this journey with you. You could have done, Stephen, you might have to come up here because I don't know how to use a PC. But I'll let you put that back on. But congratulations for all that you did. And again, thank you for letting me be on this journey with all of you. So again, round of applause for the 7 weeks that you just put in. You got to share. You kicked me out from the other computer. That's his fault. Just make it a co-host. And this apparatus of the Hillman Academy is much larger than most people know. I think we had over 300 volunteers this year between faculty members, graduate students, postdocs, medical students, trainees, lecturers, speakers, everyone who's been part of this program. Ooh. And I just want to, we're going to spend some time now thanking a lot of them, because it couldn't happen without them, right? But before I do, again, your time with us is not finished. So for the YES students, how many of you know that you're YES students? Yeah, so there's a big group of you. The YES students, this program is year wide. So you're not finished. I will send another email to you probably in early September, and we'll meet once a month through Zoom. And you can start thinking now of what are these 2 things that I want to do, because that's the main thing that you have to do to be part of the YES program is present your work, work with us in community outreach. You have 2 things to do, but you get to choose those things. But you have more that you are going to do. We have Doris Duke students, and you have the opportunity, like the YES students, to come back as undergrads. So we have these amazing undergrads who you may or may not have seen around a whole lot this summer since the first day, who were like you 2 or 3 years ago. And they participated as high school students, and now they came back as undergrads. This is them presenting a poster last week at a different science symposium at Duquesne, with many undergrads who have done scientific research throughout the summer in Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania. So a bunch of amazing people, but there's also opportunities for everyone. So there are science fairs, and I have a list of some of them up here, right? But not all of them, and only in Western Pennsylvania. PRSEF, ICEF, PJAS, Google, there are so many of them. And I encourage all of you to participate in them. You've now done a science research project, so now you can just enter in and go and do the work. If you go to a school that doesn't support this, because some of them require that, the Hillman Academy is registered as a high school for both PJS and PRSEF, and we're happy to sponsor you. So YES students, this is a common pathway, but this is available to anyone. So take your work and do more with it. There are other national conferences around ABRACAMS. There's a virtual one every year that you can apply to. And then the actual conference in the fall is happening in Pittsburgh. So we are going to try to write some small grants to get some money to take some students, but I'll let you know how that goes. But we encourage you to not let this be the end of the work that you did this summer, but to take that work and talk to people about it. Tell others about all the cool stuff that you learned and that you did and how you drove science this summer. For those of you who did computational projects, you've heard me talk about this before. AMIA, the American Medical Informatics Association Conference, has a small portion for high school students. So I've just received confirmation from the director that this will happen again this year. So computational students, I encourage you to enter this. So if you did your abstract for us in AMIA format, then that's the main part of the submission. You also submit your slides for a 10-minute talk, which you also did today. So we're trying to lower the barrier to encourage you to apply. It's highly competitive, but we've had students attend AMIA, and it rotates between DC, San Francisco, and I believe New Orleans. And we'll send you there to participate, or they will pay for your way to go. So I encourage computational students who did informatic work to apply there. As you go off as an undergrad, apply, come back as a Doris Duke undergrad. There are things called REUs, so Research Education for Undergraduates. There are a lot of these throughout the country. There are a couple of here. One of them is run by Dr. Ayub, who you all know, called Tech Bio. So we encourage you to come back. There's also a giant program here called SERP, the Summer Undergraduate Research Program. So this is another opportunity outside of the Hillman Academy to come back as an undergrad and continue to do work here at the University of Pittsburgh. And when you go off, I hope that you will seek out those lecturers who tell you something interesting and walk up to them and just ask them if there's work that can be done. Email them, ask them. I did this as an undergrad and I was able to get some credit for it. And then the next year I did it, I was able to get paid. So these are opportunities that exist at universities as you go off that you can say, hey, I've done research previously. That makes me think of your research in this way, or I'm very interested in your research. So I encourage you as you leave here, ask, do more research than you did here. And then, of course, you can come back to the Hillman Academy. You can apply again to come back. We accept a certain number of second-year students every year. It is a competitive process, but we please come back, apply to us. And then, like Dr. Ferris said, we now have a PhD granting program at the Cancer Center. There are also PhD granting training programs at all of the departments you were at. You worked with a PhD student. There are training programs there that want you. And I can tell you that this one wants you. We want you to come back here in 5 or 6 years when you finish your undergrad and you're interested in doing PhDs. So keep this in mind. Reach out to me if you're thinking about applying to this, okay? We can have you talk to the right people to help you get in here because we really, really want to create this pathway for you to get to an advanced degree and, again, to drive research forward for a long time. But the last thing I could say, and this is a picture from last year, because now we're welcoming you to the family of all of the alumni that came before you. There's been over 800 of you in the Discord platform. Those alumni from 2020 to now are all there, and you're connected now to all of these students. So if there are schools you're interested in going to, there might be someone there, right? So we can help to introduce you to people who have come before you and are now in new places. So reach out to us. We can help to try to make those connections. But we've had great students for many, many years. This is our 15th year. So welcome to the family. And again, congratulations to all of you. Give me yourself a round of applause. And so as I was saying, again, this program doesn't exist in a vacuum. We're here at the University of Pittsburgh. We're in the Cancer Center. We're only able to do this because of the leadership of the Cancer Center. So Dr. Ferris, Dr. Baskin, and Rich and Dressman, all the senior research and admin leadership here at the Cancer Center support this program. Dr. Backinist, who is the chair of the Education and Training Committee, he's also one of the co-directors of the PhD program, one of the co-founders of the PhD program. He helps to run this program, and they're all very, very supportive of this. So please, let's give a big thank you to all of the leadership here at the Cancer Center. And then this guy. Everyone give a big round of applause to Stephen. He's probably the only person in this room who everyone has communicated with at some point in time through email or calls or anything. Stephen has come to us. This is his 3rd summer working with us. I remember when he started, he's like, hey, it's kind of like we're running a small university, but there's only a couple of us and we don't have a whole lot of money. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of it. But Stephen always has 10,000 things up in the air. He does an amazing job of making sure those things all stay up in the air, that everything runs smoothly from literally, I know all of you filled out so much paperwork to come here. Stephen received all that paperwork for all of you and then has to sort it and manage it and get it into the hands of the 20 departments who need that paperwork, right? He's with me on recruiting trips with outreach events, or he's out there on his own. He's running some of these Wednesday speaker series now. I think the ones that you probably like the most, Stephen was helping to run those events. He does everything for this program, right? Absolutely everything. And it's my pleasure to work with him because he's also just a good guy, right? The many hours that we just stand around and talk in the office. Stephen's awesome. So let's give Stephen a big round of applause. And that extends to the broader team of the people who run this program that we meet all year round to try to think of how best to do this. These individuals up here are site heads. The Hillman Academy is really not one program. I think we all know that as you go through it. It's at least 8 programs, and each one of those programs is run by faculty leads who are there, faculty and admin teams who help to run these. And these people are the ones who recruited every single mentor. So I said we had about 150, 180 people volunteer to mentor. I don't know them all. It's only because they recruited them that they're here. So all of them, they recruit their colleagues. They go through the 600 or 700 applications that we get this year. They develop the curriculum. Every one of these sites has a completely different curriculum. They recruit the education staff who help to run it. They do everything at all of these individual sites. And they do this all year. It's not just in the summer. They work on this so much. And again, it's my honor to work with this like amazing group of people. So please give them a huge round of applause. And one special thank you to Joe Ayub, who is the co-director of this program. So Joe and I talk about this, other than me and Stephen, or maybe all 3 of us, we talk about this program constantly. We have standing meetings. We talk every single week at a minimum about the program, how to make it better. We look at all those surveys, do that survey. We look at those surveys and we try to respond to them. It's not easy because some of the things that half the people love, half the people won't like it. We try to find that best balance. We are working with this group on writing grants to make sure that this program continues on for more, for a longer time. And Dr. Ayub has been part of the Cancer Center or part of the Hillman Academy longer than anyone else up here. So he predates me. He helped to start what was the Cosby Comp Bio when it was 1 and then split into 2. Joe's been around for, I don't know, 13 of the 15 years of the program, something like that. So he has just the knowledge about how to do these educational programs, what works, among the many other things that he does. So thank you, Joe. Round of applause. And of course, the mentors. So I said there are a lot of them. Here they are, right? And I probably missed some. So the reason why you do this program is not to come hear me talk or to even hear the people giving seminars. You're all here to do research and to learn from those people who are doing the research, who are on the cutting edge. And these individuals are the ones who are doing it. Not a single one of these people on this list made a single penny from doing this. They are all 100% volunteers. So they volunteer their time, they volunteer their resources, they volunteer the money for those reagents, for those cells. It's not cheap. They volunteer all of that. They donate all of that so that they can work with you because you do bring a new life into the labs and just, make it so much fun and exciting to be there. But these people are amazing, again, to give of their time and to teach you. And again, my job, I feel, is just to find them, find you, and put you together and let the magic happen. So please, everyone, give huge rounds of applause to all of your mentors. And then outside of your mentors, all of you heard talks from lecturers, scientific or otherwise, instructors, guest speakers. This is a large list of them for our Wednesday keynotes. To all of the events that happen at each individual one of your sites. Again, another 75, 80 people who are just volunteers who are doing this. So please, a big round of applause for them as well. And to all the people who are behind the scenes and hidden who you may have never heard of or you may have never seen, who do all of the other work, right? They make sure that you can have this space and book this space. And get those, for those of you who are compensated, get that to you, to make sure that the shuttles are running, to when we need it, have interpreting services, to make sure those badges get to you, to these millions of other things that happen behind the scenes. These people are amazing. Let's please give them a big round of applause. And then to our community partners. So this list keeps getting bigger, and I hope that it continues to get bigger. So if any of you are part of community-based organizations or from different schools, please reach out to me. I'd love to work with you more closely, not only to recruit students, but to bring curriculum, if you want it, to your other groups of students or to come to us. But these people and these partners here are teachers, are community members, the BioZone, which is a group of graduate students who make these awesome videos, the Community Engagement Center, all of you as parents, the students, other PIT programs, Pittsburgh Public Schools, the funding for the advancement of minorities through education, Remake Learning, the Pittsburgh Promise. It's how we found a lot of you, right? We encourage our community members and our partners to recommend students to us or to encourage you to apply. So these people help us find all of you. They help us to do so many things. They give us feedback on ways that we can be better. And it's so much fun to work with all of the partners in the community. And if you know of more, please connect me so we can work with them too. So let's please give a big round of applause to all the teachers and community partners. And then of course, everyone in this room, right? To all of the parents, the guardians, the families, the friends who encouraged maybe your student to do this when they could have been doing anything else this summer, who sacrificed their time and effort to somehow get their students here every day. It's a full-time job basically for 7 weeks. So whether that is you drove them here or you trusted that they could take a bus or take 3 buses or drive somewhere and then catch a bus for the hour away some of you are coming, to all of the sacrifices that you made so that your students could be here, thank you so much. Again, I wish and hope that I get to meet all of you because I'm so excited to be around this group. So please, thank you to all the families and friends. Give yourselves a round of applause. And then lastly, our funding. Dr. Ferris mentioned this, the NCI is our largest funder. And we hope to continue to have this funding for a long time. We're going up for renewal very soon. And then there are other partners on here where we've been able to get small pockets of money or large pockets of money that come and go to make sure that this program is free and it's available to everyone, not just those who can afford to come here in the summer. And that's our goal and mission, is to keep this program completely free. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to continue this for a long time, but we wouldn't be able to do it right now without all of these organizations and groups that are up here. So please, let's give a round of applause to all the funders. And another round of applause for the mentors for giving you all those reagents and cell lines and everything else. All right. So you're not done with me, right? I really hope that you keep in touch. I hope that you keep in touch with your mentors, your site heads. I know a lot of you got to know your mentors and site heads way more than you did me. Keep in touch with them. I can tell you, as a high school student, I did a program like this, and my mentor is the one who wrote my letter of recommendation for grad school, a mentor from high school. So keep in touch. I can tell you, the students I work with, when I get an email from them, it's like the best thing, right? So reach out to them, tell them how you're doing, where you went to school, what you're doing next. Let us know how we can help. Maybe there's some connections that we can make. Keep in touch with me, keep in touch with Steven, keep in touch with all of us. I promise we won't send you a ton of emails. Steven sends an email, 1 email every year with a survey. Do it, please. It's really important for us, not only to get better, but it's data for those funders that we talked about, right? So for your younger siblings or younger friends, keep doing it knowing that you're helping them. We have 1 survey. I sent it last night. It's in an email. This is also the QR code for it. Please do it. It's the last survey of the year. We only make you do 1 coming in and 1 end. Please do it. We read these, I promise. For those of you who do computational work, submit to AMIA. For those of you in the S program, you're going to hear from me soon. It'll be a month. Take a month off. And then I'll reach back out to you and we'll start meeting and start getting to work on how you can take your work elsewhere. Engage on Discord. I know this has been the most active summer ever on Discord, which is really cool. So thank you to everyone who's posted on there, all the pictures. So Vision got a pizza party last night. There really was a prize. I told you there would be. Keep posting pictures there. Use that if you want to stay connected, if that's an easy way to do it. That Discord is yours. It's for you. And when the next generation comes in next summer, engage with them. Help them, especially in those early days when it's really hard, right? Help them get through it. So keep doing that. And then lastly, spread the word. So on this survey, we ask give us a couple of names of people you think would be good for this program. We take that to heart, definitely, because we know, because we've been able to recruit great students, there's this feed forward loop. For those of you who did some systems biology this year, there's this feed forward loop where we've been able to recruit great students. So we've been able to get great mentors, but also because we're able to get great mentors, I think we get great students because people want to come here and work with them. So tell others about the program. Stephen and I go to 15 schools a year and do outreach events around. Your school wants us to come, we'll come. We'll be there, right? Or you do it and you talk to your people that are there. But connect us to the teachers, to the students that are close to you, and let's get them involved as well. So with that, I want to say thank you again. Give yourselves all one last big round of applause. So can you get Andy's? So from now, what we're going to do, we have one more guest speaker. So one of the things, whenever someone asks me what you get out of the program, I always say you get a chance to do real research and you get mentorship. And so that vital role of mentorship is something that we want to stress. So we have one of your very own site heads, Dr. Andy Duncan, who's going to talk to you a little bit about the mentors he had in his life. And then immediately following, we're going to have the graduation ceremony, and we'll start with Tech Drive X, so Andy can just keep going, where we'll call, how we'll do this, when it's Tech Drive X's turn, after Dr. Duncan talks, all Tech Drive X comes down. We'll read off the names, give you your certificate and the books. So make sure that you get a certificate and a book before you leave. And then we'll take one picture, you go back, and we'll call the next group down. Okay? So please welcome the director of Tech Drive X, Dr. Duncan. Thank you.
Hey, guys, it's really a great pleasure to be here. And I agree with everything David said, but he left out one very important person that we have to give a round of applause to. Let's give David a round of applause. So I'm super excited to be here to talk about mentoring, and just I had to give a shout out to all the really talented Tech Drive X students who were in our program this year. And I wanted to say that we couldn't I couldn't have done this without really support from the other Tech Drive X co-directors, and we had an amazing education team. So big shout out to them. And also, as we've been giving all these applauses, to our entire Tech Drive X community that really supported our students. So really, let's talk about mentoring. So what's the point of a mentor? And you can look at this little cartoon and say, mentoring can give you training, motivation, advice, success, new directions, coaching, support, goals. You can come up with, what have their mentors given you this summer? And I'll bet you guys could put other points onto this. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my own scientific journey and some mentors that I've had. And I can tell you this started, I did this math yesterday, in 1991 when I was a high school senior. And I kind of like your program, I went to East Carolina University in Eastern North Carolina, did some research for a year. I did summer research at Yale. I went to college at UNC Chapel Hill and did research there. I was a technician there. I went to Duke for graduate school. I went to Oregon Health and Science University as a postdoc, and now I'm at Pitt. So we've had lots of loop-de-loops in my whole trajectory. And, one of the ways I've been able to do all these things is by accident, but also from really good mentoring. And I think mentors provide perspective, and that perspective is really, really important because things are going to happen to you that are kind of like this, a little speed bump down the road. Something happens, you don't quite know what to do, but when it's happening to you at that very minute, it feels a little bit more like this, okay? Right into that sinkhole. And that's happened to me. And it's really only with that support from these mentors that I've been able to get through it and actually pivot and make really good choices. So I want to tell you about just three short stories of mentors that I've had who have been really influential in my own life. So the first one is Dr. Rhea. So Dr. Rhea, basically, I met her after that happened to me. In graduate school, I was in a lab for 2 years and it left. I had to join a brand new lab. So I joined Dr. Rhea's lab at Duke, and then she ultimately left and went to San Diego after I was out of the lab, and now she's at Columbia. But I learned from Tanishta three big things. Number one, ask hard questions. You know, if everybody's doing something easy, is it really worth doing? So ask something hard, ask something challenging. And she said, never take no for an answer in science. We had a big paper that we were trying to publish. It was rejected. I said, oh, that's terrible. She said, it's not rejected. Fix it. Submit it again. It was rejected again. She said, that's not rejected. Fix it. And 2 years later, we got two papers in a very nice journal. So never take no in science. You can always make it better. And inspire other people with your passion. I think that's super important. And so we've had lots of fun together. This is me when your mentor is going to be with you when you graduate. Here we are. I think that's a root beer we're drinking, and we're rafting. And then as I was looking at this photo yesterday, I really zoomed in. I remember I made these shirts. And so there we are with our root beer. And Tanishta's shirt said, I'm always right. And my shirt said, she's always right. And it's mostly true. You know, in retrospect, not always, but mostly. So I think mentors are pretty important like that. Secondly, I want to tell you about Marcus Grumpy. Marcus was my postdoc mentor when I was in Oregon. And he taught me three really big things. Number one, think outside the box. You know, he never really liked to do things like everybody else. You know, everybody kind of in the research field thinks of him as an oddball, but I think that that's a really good thing because he can, has this ability to, look at a problem from different angles, and that really works. He would always say in the lab, the data are the data. What does that mean? It means basically if you do a good experiment and you repeat it and you get something that you expect or something that's unusual, well, that's probably it. You've got to figure out why that is. And then he really embraced the whole idea of work hard and play hard, as you can see right here. So, labs are really special places, and the lab members become your family. And I think this is true with your mentors and really anybody else that you're engaged with. And lastly, I want to tell you about Dr. Laura Ment, who's really a lifelong mentor for me. Dr. Ment, she's one of these chronic overachievers. She's a pediatric neurologist. She's the sort of division chief. She's the dean of admissions and financial aid at the Yale Medical School. She has 5 kids. And so what she really taught me was love what you do. The only way you can multitask all these different things is by loving it. How do you do that? You prioritize. And then lastly, she says, never stop running. That's because she's a runner, and she's run the Boston Marathon 49 times. Well, she's also, I don't really call her Dr. Ment, but I call her mom. So this is my mom right here. But no, I think that having that support and people to help guide you is super important, whether it's your family or people in the lab. So last slide is this. You've created a mentoring network right now. There's you, the blue person, and then you've got your direct mentor. Maybe that was a graduate student or a postdoc. And then you've got the green person, your PI. So you already have a number of different mentors who you're working with, and these people can support you and provide advice and guidance in any way. And I'm sure they'll be happy to do this moving forward. So this is you, and over time, you're gonna, get these direct mentors, and you might have a more senior mentor on top of that. But you know what's gonna happen very soon is that you're gonna start mentoring others. And I think that's one of the beautiful things here in science. So with that, I'm done. And so,
Calm down.
that's all. That's all. How are we gonna do this? We're gonna call it a name. Okay. All right. So we're gonna call out names for everybody. All right, Luke on. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Sam Wilson. Here you go. Luke on. Anna Eperty Pendrea. Isabella Cheatham. Testall. Sophia Mazer. Angie Otieni. Caroline Praveen. Norin Ray. Riley Threerin. And that is the Tech Drive X. Do we want to do a group?
Yeah, let's go. Picture.
Can we get a little closer, you think?
Yeah, squeeze together. And one big round of applause for Tech Drive X. See you soon. Next is WCRC.
Thanks. Okay. All right. So for WCRC, we have Ruth Ayers, May Cano, Anvi Chopra, Addison McLean, Ava Miller, Niaja Roberts, Fan Club, and Nathaniel Shelton.
Ines, you want to go next? Cancer biology, come on down.
It's a big group, yes. It's not that many.
It's not.
Guys, please step up when I call your name to make it a little easier. Did you make another one? Oh, no, you're good. And we are starting with our last speaker of the day, Tian. Anthony. And Tiffany. Elsair. I'm sorry. Zach. No, that's right. Andrew. Do we have Koshal online? Nope, we do not. Laurie? And Roman. That was so hard. Good job.
Come on down.
All right, we have our surgery students. We have Jermaine Taylor, Michaela Desanica Pereira, Mariah Harris, Anna Litzter. We don't have Stephen Lee here. He might be online, but if not, we will give him a certificate.
All right, big round of applause for surgery. Next, we have Vision. Yanyan, come on down, Vision.
Vision student, come up. Unfortunately, we have one student couldn't make it today, Michaela Stacks. I want to thank her for all her hard work. She just due to some family reason, she cannot participate this week. But we also want to congratulate her for her really hard work this summer. Ashley Shim, congratulations. Joyce Olaway. Chimdi Isguazo. Is it correct? No. Can you say your name?
Chimdi Isiguzo.
So. Ezra Hardy. Sophia Hardy. Justin Chen. Kevin Chen. And thank you all for your hard work, and I wish you keep friendship for the rest of your journey.
All right, big round of applause for Vision. Comp Bio, come on down.
All right, Oliver Adams. Rhea Aria. Elena Fu. Grayson Ho. James Shea. Samarth Mandani. Avery Mills. Hussein Raza. And Sarah Beth Winnikoff.
Congratulations, Comp Bio. Round of applause. All right. Is Cosby last? Did I forget anyone yet? Yeah. Oh, ICI. Come on down. We'll do ICI next. This one. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, no, that was okay. Oh man, you guys are behind me. All right, we'll start off with Muhammad Ali Al Nagash. Next, we have Omar Al Batane. Next is Ivan Chen. Next, we have Nora Cohen Pirani. Next, we have Oliver Francis. Next is Isabella Kwa. Next, we have Toby Alor. Next, we have Annabella Phelps. Next, we have John Presti. All right, now we have Lyra Stiglitz. Ella Tabish. Abish, sorry. Camilla Zaror. And Jing Zhang. And our last student is Austin Tomer, and I don't think he is here today.
Yes, scoot down that way. Big round of applause for ICI. All right, Cosby, come on down. online people? Put them at the end. I know Divvy's online, but I didn't see anyone else. All right. First, we have Ronnie Jindy. Malin Jones. Reina Majumdar. Ryan. Vega Mane. Trinity Manison. Tara Olaniana. Daniel Perez. Joshua Petit-Home. Rose Carly Pierre. Alex Schaefer. Omisa Shah. Ethan Small. And we have 3 online. So Cosby is a hybrid site. So we have Amanda Ferber, who's doing a global health project in India right now. Divi Arorajant, who I know is online. Thank you, Divi. And Oscar Martinez. Why don't we do 2 lines too? We're kind of it. Yeah, get in the front. And then last, and I'm going to turn this over to Stephen, the last group of people that we want to honor today, and we have bad news. For those of you, so for the students who complete the YES program and do 2 summers and at least 1 school year, at the end every year, we give you an embroidered white coat. Unfortunately, the embroiderer hasn't gotten them back to us yet. So we're going to still bring you down, give you large rounds of applause. And then once they get to us, we're going to mail them to you. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephen, who does all the work to bring us home.
All right. We'll have Oliver Adams come back down. Come back down. We're going to get a picture. Divi. Ruth. May. Nora. Michaela. Mariah. Malin. August. Trinity. Niaja. Alex and Jermaine.
To these students who've done so much work over the last 2 years, congratulations. We'll get you your coats, I promise. They're coming. They're coming as soon as we get them. And with that, we have only one more thing that we want to do. We want to take one more picture of all the students. Are we going to do that, Stephen, out there or in here? So students, We're going to go back out to where we took it on the first day. We're going to take one more, but thank you so much for being here, students. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you, everyone.